Hey guys, we just watched Diamond Dallas Page the movie, starred Diamond Cutter, and by that I mean Black Adam, and we want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Oddcast. I'm your host Joe, and
CN.
And like I said, we watched Black Adam, and this ought to be really exciting because we have not discussed what we think with one another.
At all.
Because I watched it last night and you watched it this morning. So I guess we'll start off with testing the waters. What did you think of it?
I thought it was a decent action movie.
All right. So last night I think I said it best. I think this movie encapsulates exactly what the DCEU is.
Which is what?
A confusing mess of not knowing what tone it's supposed to have.
Like if it's like a comedic tone or like supposed to be a super serious tone.
Are we going to do family friendly or are we going to do ultra violent? I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. What if we do it scene by scene? Oh, that's a great idea. Let's do that.
Well, I will say the very beginning of the introduction of or showing Black Adam when he literally just melted that guy. I was like, all right, this is going to get pretty intense. But then, like, it has some... It's like it's treading on, like, family-friendly. You know, I was just...
It couldn't figure it out. I wanted it to be intense. I was like, tear them apart. Yeah, geopolitics. Now we're talking. But then, every time that it was going in deep, it would be like, nah, we don't want to do that. It'll change our rating.
I guess they had to pull back a little bit. I mean...
But I think that's a coward's way to do it.
Yeah.
Like... And they knew it going into it, which is what bothers me, because they knew that Zack Snyder's Justice League did way better than what the normal Justice League did. So it just seems weird to me that suddenly they'd be like, you know what? Let's just add fun for no reason.
Well, it was reported that I guess the original cut of Black Adam was supposed to be rated R. So... I think that's where the pull went. I guess when they shot it thinking rated R. But then I guess during post-production, they were like, the execs were like, let's pull it back. Let's get some kids in there. So I don't know.
Yeah. So I legitimately say that it is a decent action movie.
Yeah.
I think that it is above average for how entertaining it was. The Rock did fantastic. I totally am sold on him being Black Adam.
The Rock was The Rock.
He was The Rock, but it works well for that character. Like, kind of cocky, full of himself, a little smug. Yeah, okay, I could buy it.
Sure.
But not confined to the rules of, like, engagement. So, now let's dig into, like, some of the things that I had a problem with. There was so much exposition in the beginning. Like,
oh my God.
So much. I was like, oh my God, couldn't we have just done this as, like, its own movie? And then... It also felt like they were like, hey, what are some successful other movies that we can take pieces from? Hey, you know how vibranium is in Wakanda? What if we did that, but with another element? But this one's magic instead of just the hardest metal in the world.
I sensed that too. I did. I sensed that too.
They made it this really rare mineral, but then wanted us to believe that there were no foreign powers invested in their kingdom, that it turned to shit. I was like,
And then, like, they kind of make a good point as far as, like, this organization basically taking over this entire city to unearth that stuff. I'm talking about, there was a shot where there was, like, a quarry after a quarry after a quarry, like, high-tech quarries. But then, like, nobody across the world is, like, questioning this. And that was one of the points that one of the main characters, I don't know her name, brought up, is the fact that, like, Justice of Society was like, where the fuck have you been?
Okay, so you've brought up two really good points. One, it bothered me that nobody cared about this little town, mostly because the element apparently makes it to where you can make things that can move through objects, and I'm like, nah, man. Russia and the United States would be all over that like white on fucking rice. And two, notice how Justice Society dropped America?
What do you mean by dropped America?
They never once identified themselves as the Justice Society of America. They are the JSA. But they did go into a place where they had no jurisdiction, butted around in affairs that weren't theirs, claimed they were the heroes, and destroyed shit. Doesn't that sound a little bit like Justice Society of America, World Police.
World Police.
World Police, get down on the ground! Damn, I missed him!
Because that's totally what I was like, oh, they've dropped America. Interesting take.
It was a crazy. It was a bit of a mess. Like, I was like, there's no way like this super organized crime. I don't think they really considered crime, but basically they were doing like shady shit and nobody checked them. Like,
well, okay. So hear me out. Other story parts that bothered me a little bit. So Hawkman is super like, you can't kill them. You can't kill them. You can't do that. You can't do that. But he's working for Waller,
who's all about killing motherfuckers.
Like, has no problems or qualms with it. So it's kind of a what?
Yeah. Waller has no qualms killing any of her assets, anybody that gets in her way. I mean,
and also like the JSA is a fun team, especially to bring into it because it's a team members that you don't necessarily know about. Yeah. But then it makes like any traumatic event that could happen to them, or like a sacrifice or a death, mean nothing because there's no attachment. Like, it's not like it's the second movie for Superman and he has to sacrifice himself to stop Doomsday. It's more like, this is the first time that we've ever seen you. You've been here for 40 minutes and now you're dead. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Well, and it wasn't that it happened. It was that they did the long, like, drawn out, like, I'm so sorry that it has to end this way. Like, we're supposed to have this emotional attachment. And I'm like, it doesn't exist, bro.
I do think it was interesting. Like, I think the story itself was well written. And what I mean by that is like I guess I'll call it a twist. The whole aspect of Black Adam not being the boy you thought he was in the beginning. It was actually his father. I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting. You know, that's decent storytelling. But like, there were times when I was watching it that like The Rock's performance, The Rock and the kid, their interaction pulled me out of it because they totally pulled a Terminator 2.
Yes, agreed.
And I was like, okay, they're doing Terminator 2. Got it.
But without the buildup of you're used to this person already.
Yeah, right.
That Arnold had. So it's kind of it's like they forced it on him. And it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like they put too much emphasis on that kid. Mm-hmm. And then by putting that anchor on Black Adam, you've made him more like Shazam. And I'm like, but he's not supposed to be like Shazam. He's supposed to be an anti-hero. So he shouldn't have the anchor of this kid hanging around him to like weigh him down as a hero. I'm like, you don't need it.
Well, yeah, and the thing about it too is that like I'm not gonna lie too. I totally thought they were gonna make that kid a Shazam, or giving them powers or whatnot. Because I was like, once they did the whole thing with his son sacrificing his powers to give it to his father, I was like, he's gonna do the opposite because he sees this kid as like his son kind of thing.
No, I agree with that, but they wouldn't do that because the ending to Shazam is, of course, him giving his powers to his whole family.
Yeah.
Also, I thought that there were like really weird needle drop moments where they like wanted to insert music, but then didn't play like.
You talking about during the big battles?
During any time where they played music, it was just like, okay, and then they added a needle drop moment, but it wasn't like. I think everybody wants to do a James Gunn style needle drop, or like a Quicksilver in the X-Men needle drop, where it's like, this is the scene that people are going to remember. They're going to remember a little cafe on the other side of the border because the whistling arrow is killing everybody. They're going to remember Harley Quinn dancing, to her own music. Like, it doesn't work all the time, and you have to choose your moments. But then it seemed like every time that they went to do it, they didn't fully commit to it.
Right.
But it might also just be editing. Another
it's
thing,
possible, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, I don't think that it's necessarily the director, but I feel like this was definitely a situation of, like, too many cooks.
It's yeah. Now, I wouldn't say the movie is as bad as I think it was IGN that gave it a 5, or.
So 5 means normal, like the average.
Yeah.
we think of it as bad, but it's really like, it's run of the mill.
I mean, but I mean, I would say it's more than a 5. I mean, if I was to give it a rating, I would give it like a 7. I mean, it gave me what I wanted as far as action. Yeah, there's certain moments where kind of this, certain characters kind of pulled me out of the movie. I was like, all right, I really liked Dr. Fate. I think.
Oh yeah, I think that, and that's what I'm saying. Like 40 minutes in, and he was gone. Or I mean, don't get me wrong, he lasted more than 40 minutes. But I'm just saying, you only really get 40 minutes with him.
Yeah.
And I thought the Justice Society of America was good. I liked all those characters, but it was, you didn't have enough time with them to form any kind of bond. And they went in immediately like hands swinging to kill, and it's like, or to apprehend, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, but why?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
I mean, Dr. Fate, I was the only character that I would say that out of the whole 1, 2, 3, out of the whole, like, out of all 4 of them, Dr. Fate I was more connected with him because he was more, I don't know. I guess it's just Pierce
it's because he was mysterious and he had the best fight scenes.
Yeah.
Nothing against Hawkman. His fight scenes were also cool, but like, they essentially were like, oh man, everybody really likes Doctor Strange. We got to make Dr. Fate like his equal, kind of.
You know what's funny was there was a kid who was talking about Doctor Strange and he was talking to his father. They were getting popcorn. And he was talking about Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate. It was like, well, there's a Doctor Strange type character in it. And so like, I guess.
Yeah, so, yeah. And then I think that every, like, twist or beat was ruined by the trailers. So, like, I knew that Black Adam was the father, not the son, because he says it in the trailer. And
I didn't pay that attention to the trailer. So
I knew that Superman was going to make a cameo in the movie because they say it in the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, the giveaway line is, nobody on this planet can defeat me.
Yeah.
And
but I wouldn't have said a cameo. I could have saw that, and the way I perceived that line was a build up to another movie with Superman. I didn't expect him to be at the mid-credit scene. Like,
not only should you not have expected him, but apparently The Rock did that without the studio's approval.
Yeah, apparently, and like apparently the producers were pretty pissed off about it.
Yeah,
I read that.
Like, for no reason. Like, The Rock is trying to... He's the Ryan Reynolds of DC. He's going to run Renegade, but he knows what he's doing. Give the fans what they want. Yeah. Which means this. Dwayne, if magic is not Superman's weakness in the DCEU,
I'm gonna be pissed.
I am going to be super upset. Because I need somebody to smack the shit out of Superman on screen in a way that Batman couldn't deliver.
Yes.
Because of Martha or whatever. Like, I need to see him, like, just mollywop Superman so that Amanda Waller has to go, well, shit. What do we do now? Because her whole thing is backfired. Although, they did give him a kryptonite, which is the Eternium, whatever it's called. That's a weakness for him. And I was like, that seems interesting.
I think that's going to be the way to kind of balance out Black Adam.
Yeah, because then you got
everybody knows Black Adam will mop the floor with Superman.
Yeah, which is why, if you guys ever want to see the best take on Black Adam, just watch the trailer for DC Universe Online.
Mm-hmm.
The little 10-minute action scene thing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to include a link in our section. You should go watch that right now. It's great. Yeah, the graphics are a little old. It is fantastic.
Yeah, and it clearly shows how, with magic, Superman has
no shot.
No shot at all. Like,
he'd have to try really hard. Essentially, they're going to have to pull in Shazam to try and fight him. So it'll be like the Super Family versus Black Adam, and they'll have Superman on their side. It'd be interesting.
Which I still have to watch. I still have to watch Shazam, especially since the trailers during the trailers for this movie on my end for this movie, Shazam the sequel trailer dropped. So like, it looks interesting, but I'm definitely gonna have to. I guess, especially since I think Rotten Tomato give it like a 96.
I think that you attempted to watch it, but you were like, nah, or you just decided not to because it was too kiddie for you.
Yeah, I think the kiddie thing is I might have to overlook that, but yeah.
But hey, guys,
I think I've seen it though. I don't know.
I like that you can't remember. All right, guys. Really well, while you're down there looking at that video from DC, go ahead and drop some comments. What did you think? Are you excited to see Superman versus Black Adam in the next movie? Do you think Black Adam's going to be in the next Shazam movie. That seems like something they would add post-credit. Oh, sorry, this did make me think of this. Notice how that Shazam trailer, you wouldn't have noticed. So this is me talking to the audience. Didn't Ezra Miller's face used to be in that trailer, but now it's not in the trailer?
Isn't it just his body in this current trailer?
In the current trailer, I think they removed their face from the trailer. Not sure about that. Just something I noticed. But let us know in the comments what you thought of Black Adam. Are you excited to see a sequel? Are you excited to see that the DC head has gone and now The Rock might have more free reign to do what he's going to do? And while you're down there, hit the little like, subscribe, and the little bell for notifications. Yep. And we will see you next time, guys. Until then, Diamond Cutter out.
Peace.